Hi, Sparkle.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Oh, I
Hi,
love it.
Sparkle
Hello.
I
Girl.
love it. Hi,
Hello.
Sparkles.
Love that it was made with love.
Yeah, you can tell it was definitely made with love. And I just makes me happy every time I hear it. I hope it makes each of you happy.
I'm so happy you love it. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Woohoo. So
Brings out that sparkliness.
how was everybody's Christmas? It's a New Year's.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I
So
heard you
much
got some
fun.
fun stories to share with us.
I do. So I have a very interesting Christmas family. I go to Berkeley. It's about a 3.5, 4 hour drive to see my boyfriend that I lived with for 5 years, from 85 to 90, and his wife of now 25 years. And they are magnificent. I love them. We always do really super fun things. This is our second Christmas together. And we were standing in the kitchen talking, and they live about a mile from where the tracks pass through Berkeley, and you can it's just far enough to sort of, hear that romantic train horn in the distance, kind of floating through the air. And then suddenly I hear this crash, this horrible, like metal and screaming and, screeching down the track. And it shocked me. I actually fell to the ground. I was like, oh, what happened? You know, and it's instead of being a distant train crash, it was a very long, involved, and variegated fart.
What?
What's wrong with
What?
me? She made this really, really, really strange fart that went on and on. And I just could, it was just so funny. I fall into the floor in shock. And then it was just that. It was
Did
so
you
funny. I just can't stop laughing at the
you thought
fact.
it was like some accident from a train
Yeah,
that
in the
broke it?
distance, like,
Oh, that's hilarious. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I know. It was so funny.
You gotta love that stink, don't you?
Right, right. It didn't stink. Hers never
No.
stink. And you got a picture too, all right? See, because part of the problem with he and I was that he didn't think I was pretty because he was raised with Twiggy. And so he wanted a woman that looked like Twiggy. And she does. She's like about this tall, and she's got or maybe like this tall, and she's just a little tiny thing with this like giant curly hair. She's really adorable. So anyway,
Aw, you're
yeah,
beautiful though.
yeah,
That's
I was
yeah.
gonna say that Gwendolyn, that sounds like you. You're just
Oh,
yeah.
well,
right? I mean,
thank you.
she's just this tiny little thing and
Oh,
Yeah.
big, gorgeous
you,
hair and
Yeah.
oh, thank
beautiful
you.
face and
Thank
personality
you.
and the whole bit.
Well,
You're the whole package.
when we met when I was 30, I was like 11 days into a water fast. So I had this like kind of a different look to my body, than when I started eating food again. And yeah, I wasn't as good a shape then as I am now. I don't know. It's all good.
You're
Yeah, it's
perfect.
all
Yeah,
perfect.
they're
You're
so
All
great
perfect.
together. I'm happy. I'm happy they have each other.
Aw.
And you wouldn't
Well,
have that story without her.
Exactly. Oh no, she's so sweet.
oh my
She
gosh.
helped me with a bunch of yoga poses to help my hips this time. She's amazing. She's the fact that she allows me to be there and she's totally cool with it. It's awesome.
I love that you could just go
Yeah.
to an ex-boyfriend's house for Christmas and his wife. That's
Ah,
amazing.
isn't
Like
it?
it doesn't, family Christmases doesn't have to be exactly your all the families. Like sometimes we
Right.
make ourselves go to these family events, and sometimes we don't love it. So why go to the ones that you
Ah,
want to go?
yeah.
And that's a perfect example of how it's like there's only love and the
Mhm.
love, like everything else, um, when I first started listening, or when I first started studying the Course in Miracles, they kept saying your true creations, your true creations. The whole Course in Miracles, that they talk about true creations. Your true creations will last, and everything else will go. And so, the Course in Miracles, they say the Holy Spirit is the voice for God. So that's your communication with the higher self, right? And so I kept saying, what is this true creation? And so I finally asked, my friend helped me. She goes, because I was just beginning to understand this communication that we all have access to. So I said, Holy Spirit, what is this true creation? And I got the answer. It's filaments of light bonded through love. Those are your true creations.
I
Filaments
remember
of light
that.
bonded through love. This is what is eternal. It's the love. And you going back to an old boyfriend where, everyone's like, well, that love is finished. No, it actually expanded into now including his wife. And that's just a beautiful testament to a true creation, that love, whatever transpired in the moment of your supposed breakup, that lives went different directions. The love was still there beyond all the other stories and everything. The true creation of love, that you had bonded with his filament of light and your filament of light, and then it expanded into even more. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, and in his defense, he really didn't have any choice but to break up with me, because I've never cheated on anyone before or after, but because he didn't think I was pretty, some celebrity would come through, like a local, comedian, leftist, and tell, like, give me that affirmation, and I'd be like, I'm sorry, Cliff, I have to go do this. I have to go sleep with this guy. And I
Oh
did
my
it like
goodness.
3 times, so of course it wasn't gonna.
Well,
And
it's good
now
that you guys,
that you find it within yourself.
yeah.
Exactly.
But it's good to know
Exactly.
that it wasn't like you're holding this grudge or, the story or whatever. You're just like, oh, move on. And we're still friends. We're still love. There's still all this,
Yeah.
because there's no story behind it. Just, it is
Yeah,
what it is.
celebrating
It's all
wholeness.
good. Right.
And it's beautiful to watch him, because I saw such a transformation just in that time I was there. I was really there just for Christmas Day. I came in the night before, I left the next morning. And he started out, he's very mental, very intellectual. And at the end he was talking about magic and synchronicities, and sending me a synchronicity that happened, like that involved me. And like it was
So you just
great.
rubbed off on them, rubbed your sparkle off
Yeah.
on them. That's what we
Yeah.
do, right? We just rub our sparkle off on everyone.
Especially
By,
you, Giovanna.
by you being you, you can ripple out to everybody else. And us three doing this together, and sharing these stories so that,
Mhm.
loving every part of you, like there's nothing wrong. It's just you are who you are, and just allow yourself to be who you are. That's
You
that
guys,
sparkle, right?
whenever we're on these calls, I actually have this feeling. I feel like we're standing in a circle holding hands, the three of us. That's how it feels.
Mm,
I
I
really feel
love that.
that. And just looking at each other and talking, and you
Yeah.
know.
It's just such an energy, such a love, fun energy.
Mhm.
It's so fun. It's just so fun.
So
And
fun.
that's the key, is keeping that frequency. And what Gwendolyn did was going in as her bright, sparkly light, and then everything rose to meet her. The
Yeah.
conversations, everything. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
beautiful, the
Mhm.
power that you um,
And then we
were
attracted to each
in.
other. All three of us, we attracted, right? And guess how many
Yeah.
more sparkles are going to be attracted to us?
Yeah.
Yeah,
By just giving permission to be sparkly, permission to be our joyful self. Right?
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
true self, which is
Yeah.
joy
Yeah.
incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, during Christmas, the Christmas holidays, we're talking about my grandson before, and all the telepathy powers we have between each other. And both his mom and dad were on the phone, and he's like 2 now. And I've noticed that they're, because they're a lot younger, and so they're on their phones more. And so I was like, it was in the room, and I was like thinking, I'm like, I wonder if he's, he's gonna notice this stuff because he's a really smart boy. I didn't say anything. I just thought of it, and next thing you know, he's doing this new thing with them where he just goes and pulls their phone out of their hands. And now they're like, if he'll look across the room and he'll look at both of them, and they're just like, oh, gotta put our phone away. Or he'll come over and he'll take the phone, put it out of their hands. He'll even pick their hands up and start walking them together. And I'm like, are they dancing? Is he bringing them to dance or walk? And I'm like, that's my thing. Because I was like, wow, all that dancing we always did from when he was little, all up until now, all those twerking dance parties we did. But it's like, but he'll just literally just pick them up and then start walking them around. And it was like no judgment from me. I was just like, because it's easy enough to be judging them or judging, like they shouldn't be on their phones or whatever. But it was just like, he's 2. How amazing and smart is that for him to just like
Well,
not crying about it, not get mad about it, but just here's a different option. Here, let's walk together, let's dance together. And it was so cute. Anyways, I
but
wanted to share
it
that.
started with you, Giovanna, because what would have happened if you had said, hey guys, this is really too much with the phones or something? If
Yeah.
you had said
Yeah.
anything, he wouldn't have been on that positive stream. You initiated that positive stream, of just innocent like exploration. That's really what he was doing.
And I just couldn't believe it. It was like I was literally across the room and I had that thought. And I was just like, wow, is this like magic before my eyes? Like, he can hear my thoughts. Like,
Yeah.
well, we already know the telepathy with us walking and everything, but I just was like, it's just getting more and more. Like he's just in his own little world. Like he plays and he does his thing, and there could be a whole bunch of people around and they're all, doing their normal family stuff, and he's just playing and tuning into things that he wants. And then it's like, my mom and dad, I want their attention. I'll just take their phone away.
So sweet. And it's
Yeah.
so sweet that they didn't resist too.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, he's
You know?
watching. We better put our phones away. We better put our phones away. So now he's mastering them by like, I just have to
Yeah.
give them a look from across the room and they'll put their phones away.
Right.
That's so beautiful. And he's present. He's a toddler, and he has that presence. He's in connection with all of life, and
Mhm.
And some people say because like he doesn't know, like he's not speaking or something, like, oh, maybe he's deaf. And I'm like, no, he's not deaf. Like, because I can come up behind him and it's like he has selective hearing. It's like who he wants to tune into. It's like there's all of a sudden my daughter I went for a walk yesterday, and I came home, and as I was coming home, they were going, and I came up behind and I was like, Catherine, and all of a sudden he turned around and he wouldn't care about anything else. He just was like, there. He knew my voice, and it was just like he definitely isn't. When it comes to speaking and stuff, I think he's just selective, and he's just choosing right now when he wants to.
Yeah.
Or
And
and
the
he's
smartest kids don't talk. They don't have to,
yeah, my nieces that had 3 languages going on in their household, they didn't speak for several years but then when they spoke 3 languages. So but
Yeah.
I love that selective hearing. So it goes back to the frequency that Gwendolyn walked in, and then the conversation rose to meet that higher frequency. So he's in a higher octave frequency of listening to all of creation, and you came in meeting that.
Yes,
He's not
totally.
interested in the humdrum, this is what's wrong, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
he's up
yeah,
here and he can't
Yeah.
even hear that. He can't even hear that conversation. But you
yeah.
come
He's
in
with
and your joy, and he's like, well, I can hear that because I'm
yes,
in that
yes.
frequency.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that's what I
That's
felt
so
like yesterday.
beautiful.
Like he loves like even just being out in nature. So it's like he's always tuning into all the birds and to the just everything around him. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's so lit up by that, and so that totally makes sense that you said that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and I remember this, and I remind myself of it sometimes. All of creation is listening. All
Yes.
of creation
Yes.
is listening. What are you telling yourself, and what are you telling all of creation?
Yeah.
That's
and
a place
he's
to
staying,
end.
right? So thanks, Zathrian, for being the master of
Oh my gosh.
frequency for all of us.
Oh, thank you for that aha, Jeannie.
You shine
You
so
shine
bright,
so bright.
you sparkle.
Sparkle.
You are the love. You shine so bright, you sparkle, 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 sparkle.
Love you, Sparkles.
Love you.